If you followed our coverage of the Dallas Cowboys coaching carousel, you knew 24 hours ago what Jerry Jones announced on Friday as it relates to Dan Quinn. Mike Fisher reporting from North Texas on the Dallas Cowboys for Cowboys SI and for the Fish Report. We broke the story on Thursday that Dan Quinn was not just staying in Dallas because he loves Dallas, although he does, staying in Dallas also because he had decided, while pulling his name out of contention for the remaining jobs that are open across the NFL landscape in terms of being a head coach, that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys had convinced him and coerced him to stay with a substantial financial package, is what our sources told us. We then saw on Twitter a bunch of people trying to argue with what we had reported by saying, but he's already under contract because of the Atlanta deal, and that is indeed true. But he's still got a substantial financial package, and we'll call it a futures promise, as we did on Thursday, to stay. Now Jerry Jones has gone on 105.3 The Fan and said, yes, indeed. We worked out a deal with Dan Quinn. We plan on him being our defensive coordinator for a long, long time. That's easier said than done. Dan Quinn does not have to be the defensive coordinator after this year. He doesn't want to. He'll be back in the NFL coaching cycle and the carousel, and will have a chance to be an NFL head coach next year. Jerry also said that it is his belief that Quinn turned down a head coaching job this year in order to stay in Dallas. That might very well be true. The job that we believe that he wanted and that almost everybody involved thought he was going to get was going to be with the Denver Broncos. That did not happen. So Dan Quinn comes back here for what Jerry Jones says is going to be a long, long time. He comes back here under the same existing terms of the Atlanta contract that he's still living off of, the head coaching money that he got there, but now with a futures arrangement to stay with the Dallas Cowboys for more money. The Dallas Morning News, 24 hours after our report, has called it an extension, and that's fine. We called it a futures agreement with a substantial financial package, and now the Morning News has said, yeah, it's an extension. Which indeed it is, which includes money, which is about the future, and which is about Jerry Jones being able to convince Dan Quinn, in addition to the other factors, why don't you stay here? And why don't you let us take care of you? Now, obviously, also dangling out there is the possibility that if this head coach, Mike McCarthy, who's also coming back, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit, maybe he's not here forever. If next year the defense plays very well, but the team doesn't get where it needs to go, wants to go, where Mr. Jones wants to go overall, you can make a coaching change at that time. But at least you won't have Dan Quinn looking over Mike McCarthy's shoulder or stabbing him in the back. That's not the way these guys work. This will be everybody rowing in the same direction, trying to win a Super Bowl in 2022. And then if Dan Quinn wants to stay on some more, he's got more money from Mr. Jones to do it. So Dan Quinn, this is where his feet are. This is also where Jerry Jones's wallet is. In Frisco with the Cowboys, Fish out.